As we welcome you to Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School, the Brockton Boxers visiting the Bridgewater Rainham Trojans. Great to have you join us here on this Thanksgiving morning on BCA and BTV. I am John Luck along with Big Game Miles Jackson and Dominic Damiano. And Dom, both of these teams coming in with under 500 records, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, I think it's safe to say records go out the window. It's very important here. Just get the win, end the season, and get ready for that Thanksgiving dinner.
Absolutely, John. I mean, like you just said, it comes down to, the records are out the window. It's all pride now.
Yes, indeed, it's all pride. This is when the high school kids get really amped up on Thanksgiving Day. It's a beautiful day, beautiful morning to play football, and I'm just looking for a great game.
And for the Brockton Boxers, obviously they made a coaching change. We'll address that throughout the broadcast here, but they did make a move at quarterback. Jaden Campbell, the freshman quarterback at the helm for the Boxers. You guys called a lot of Boxers games this season. What can we expect to see from Jaden Campbell here this morning and afternoon?
Well, the kid's not afraid to run with the ball, Miles. We know that. He's very mature for a freshman quarterback running this offense.
Yes, he is, Dom, and it's been basically a learning experience for Jaden Campbell this year. At the quarterback position, he's made some mistakes, but it's a learning process. He's only a freshman, and we look for some big things next year.
We step aside for a moment, and we hear the national anthem, courtesy of the Bridgewater Rainham Marching Band on this Thanksgiving morning.
This afternoon, as we participate in the excitement of a Thanksgiving football. We now ask that all members in attendance politely rise and remove all headwear in respect of playing of the national anthem by the PR Marching Band.
Well, we talked about the return to tradition. Nothing is more traditional here at BTV or BCA without the one, the only, fourth member of our crew, Newbie Rateau. Happy Thanksgiving, Newbie.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. First and foremost, what an outstanding day, beautiful weather. Talk to both of the coaches. First, talk to Coach Pacheco. Said, listen, we need to limit the big plays. And they want, he was worried about their speed. He said, we got to limit the big. If we do that, they think they're going to be the game. Talk to Coach Wiggins. Coach Wiggins said, listen, simply, we got to get off to a quick start. 2 minutes slow starts. We got to control the line of scrimmage, get off to a quick start, and see what happens. So, should be a great game.
All right, thank you very much, Newbie. I'd say a beautiful morning. We were talking a little bit ago, I think it was 5 years ago, last time we were actually at Marciano Stadium. I think it was, 4 or 5 degrees or something like that?
Yeah,
it was frozen
cold
outside.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. I mean, oh my God, I remember, were my feet going to warm up by the time I get to the bottom of the bottom of the bleachers? Oh my goodness.
Oddly enough, I think that was the year we actually had the heat alarm going off in the truck. I think it might have been the carbon monoxide. Luckily, we opened the door. We made out for Thanksgiving dinner, though, perfectly fine. It'll be the Brockton Boxers kicking off to number 3, William Porter, and number 22, Carlitos Lamar Lee. The BR Trojans have a unique quarterback situation. Their starting quarterback this season, the senior quarterback, Declan Byrne, injured his leg on senior night against the New Bedford Whalers. So talking to Lou Pacheco, he said that there's a possibility here we could see a 2-quarterback system. Caleb Tripp has done a great job, especially in the Wildcat formation.
Yeah, he said the not Tripp, but the other young man wasn't even on his depth roster.
Owen King did throw a 2-point conversion a few weeks ago. I believe it was against Dartmouth. But number 67 for the Boxers, Andrew Dos Santos, kicking off here to the BR Trojans. And we are off and running on Thanksgiving morning. End over end. This is Porter, who drops the ball, takes off from the 10, and he'll get wrapped up and pulled down. The BR Trojans going to get started actually just inside the 15, up to the 14-yard line. So our first chance here to see the BR offense.
Now, initially, that secondary blocking for the Trojans, two linemen actually tripped trying to get to their blocks, because the first line is always the line that sets the wedge, and that really helped out Brockton to get to that ball carrier.
You see number 6 there. That is Caleb Tripp, the quarterback who we mentioned has taken over here at the regional. Porter going to line up on the near side. BR starting from their own 15-yard line. First play of the game, a QB keep to the near side. And that's going to be a lot of the BR offense, especially on the ground, as they've had their fair share of injuries. Tripp picks up 1.
Well, I tell you, that was a good sign right there on that first running play. Even though it is the first running play, Brockton's defense has to come into this game and control that trenches right there, defense as well as offense. So it'll be interesting to see how they do today, because they've had a tough time all year controlling the trenches.
They read that so well, they were able to shoot to that opposite gap and get the ball carrier.
Pick up a 2 for Tripp. Caleb Tripp against Quincy last time out. 24 carries, 216 yards on the ground, and a pair of touchdowns. Power eye here. And Tripp again on the keeper, lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, that time, guys, I don't know if you saw that Brockton was bringing the blitz, and they were bringing we called his name so many times, Ahmad Wiggins, number 7. Excellent linebacker for the Boxers.
Yeah, I expect Brockton's defense to put a little pressure on this quarterback, because he is out there. He's not the normal starting quarterback, so I'm sure they'll try to rattle him a little bit. But it'll be up to the Bridgewater's offensive line to hold it right there at the line.
Absolutely. Excellent penetration on that stunt they just pulled.
Same formation. Porter going to line up on the near side now, a 3rd and 8. Hand the ball off this time, or rather it's going to be another QB keep. 3 QB keeps, and Tripp will get up to the 19-yard line. The ball came out, but Tripp's going to be called down on the ground, and a 3-and-out for Lou Pacheco in this BR offense in the early going here.
Here's a look at it right here, guys, on the fake, but watch the way the Boxers penetrate that initial line of scrimmage. And unfortunately, right now, this series, the Trojans can't answer that blocking assignment. Have a problem answering that blocking assignment.
Cam Montero set to receive this punt just over midfield at his own 45. And he'll definitely be a name we'll call out today. A low kick that's going to bounce out at the Bridgewater Rainham 35. And if head coach Jermaine Wiggins needed a great start, that's definitely how it gets going there, right from the special teams.
Exactly. I think the punter was trying to kick it away from Cam, because that's what Braintree did in the last Brockton High home game. They did not let Cam Montero get his hands on that football, because he's an electrifying type of punt returner.
Absolutely. The other thing is, if you think of where the punter actually had the ball, the ball was ahead of his foot.
First chance here at BR to see Jaden Campbell, who starts off in the gun. Montero, the motion man, gets the handoff on the sweep to the near side, directing traffic. Cam Montero across the 25, and the first play from offense, the Brockton offense, gets to right about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and if Brockton offense wants to produce anything today, they're going to have to get the football in Cam Montero's hands. He's the main man out there. They get it in his hands, and things can happen right away.
You got to love that lead blocking by the Boxers, number 19. Shemaiah Williams on that lead block. Here's a look at him. Also on the lead block, there's Walter Rodriguez helping out the cause.
And they hand the ball off to Rodriguez. He gets tripped up in the backfield by number 35, Amina Bassi, the lone senior on offense, coming up big on defense.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was a shoestring tackle, and it did the job. It kept Rodriguez from really getting more yardage.
Great job by that linebacker to get in there and make that play. Excuse me, defensive lineman to get in there, actually end to make that play. And that was on the opposite side. He's lined up as a right defensive end. He came all the way across to make it on the far side. Finish that play on the far side. Great job by that defensive end for the Trojans.
Rodriguez had a 10-yard touchdown run last time out against Dartmouth, or excuse me, against Taunton. Now a 2nd and 10. Campbell under center for the first time today, and we get a flag.
Flag on the play.
Oh, we have a delay of game. Yeah.
Delay of game on the offense. Now moving back, start down again.
You know what? That's the first time I've seen an official throw his flag in the air, look for it, make sure it didn't hit him on the way down. That's exactly what that looked like. The back judge was watching his own flag.
So off the 5-yard penalty, Rodriguez is going to be in the backfield. Number 12 for the Boxers, Jaden Lopes-Ribeiro on the far side along with Montero. Handoff to Rodriguez, and he'll get wrapped up and pulled down just over the line of scrimmage, taken down by number 7, Matthew Nicholas.
Yeah, nice job by Bridgewater's defense here, not letting Brockton do much in the middle where they've run. Their only success was to the outside with Cam, but right now Bridgewater's done a great job inside.
I mean, Bassi also helping out with that tackle.
Again, that kid is finding his rhythm early, able to pick up the block in the side. Because you figure you're seconds and you're just playing the ball. You're watching the ball carry. Great job by that defensive end for the Trojans.
Empty backfield here for Campbell, who's in the gun. On a 3rd and 13, Jaden Campbell looking to throw for the first time today. Instead, he almost got sacked. Now he does. Ball came out, but a huge sack there for number 44, C.J. Lopes.
Yeah, that was great coverage by Bridgewater Raham. It looks like Cam was open for a minute there, but quarterback couldn't get to him. But that just shows you the inexperience of a freshman quarterback. What he should have did was just throw it right out of bounds.
Absolutely.
You know, once he got that pressure, he should have just thrown it right out of bounds.
And Coach Wiggins mentioned that before about, the maturity of the young. We all know the young man's a great athlete. He's a good athlete. But his ability to pick up something like that and get rid of the ball, that comes with maturity. And again, that was one thing Coach Wiggins was worried about coming into today's game.
So after BR had a dicey punt, Brockton has a great punt here, and the BR Trojans are going to start from their own 1-yard line.
Wow.
That was a great job by Walter Rodriguez. You might see it on the replay if they have it, but that was a great job, him running down there. Here it is, Dom.
Yeah, watch Rodriguez on this play. He has to time it perfectly because, and it has to take a Brockton bounce for him to get a hand on it.
Exactly.
That ball was definitely going into the end zone.
Nice punt by Cam.
So now this BR offense that picked up 4 yards on their first drive is pinned back just inside of their own 2-yard line.
This is going to be interesting to see what they run.
They do have Catino in the backfield, number 28. We saw 3 QB keeps. And another QB keep here for the BR Trojans at this point, just trying to give themselves some space here, looking to avoid that safety.
Yeah, nice job by Brockton's defense. It was a long count that Bridgewater Rainham had there, hoping to draw off Brockton's defense, but they stood tall and waited for that snap.
You know what? You guys mentioned it before, I think, when we were off the air. This is going to come down to the trenches. Whoever can control the line of scrimmage, because you get 2 good athletic teams. It's a matter of who is going to control the trenches.
Lou Pacheco said that with all these injuries here, this is a young offensive line, so a great chance here to learn going into next year here. And what better team to do that against than the Brockton Boxers? On second down, another carry here for the BR offense. That looks like it's number 33. Adon Nazis.
Yeah, nice little hole opened up by Bridgewater Rainham's offensive line, but it was a nice job by the linebackers and cornerbacks coming up to shut it down after a few yards gained on the play.
You know, they're at this 7, third down. They have the ability to move the ball. Now I think they're going to go way, because they're staying within the tackles. We have yet to see a play go with, outside the tackles yet for the Trojans in their second offensive possession.
Jason Kelleher to the near side on third down. Another running play that gets up to the first down marker, and they're going to have just enough. Caleb Tripp picks up a first down for the BR Trojans.
Yeah, nice hustle job there by Caleb. Nice job by the right side of that offensive line, opening up a hole for him to get 6 yards on the carry.
Smart young man, followed his blocks, followed the lineman. The seam opened up, and he took advantage of it. Great play.
Has had about 800 yards rushing over his last 4 games. Caleb Tripp, a sophomore. Or excuse me, a junior. Playing quarterback here on Thanksgiving morning. Here's a pitch back to Catino. Goes to the far side, and Catino across the 20 will get the first down to the 25. Brian Catino injured his arm a few weeks ago. Good to see him back here on the field and picking up yards for BR.
Yeah, nice job by Catino. Breaking tackles. That's one thing about Brockton this year. They've had a tough time tackling, so they need to really step up on this Thanksgiving Day and make some key tackles there. Make some key tackles, but right there, just a great running job by the running back for Bridgewater Rainham.
I counted 3 white shirts on the ground. He duked out there to get close to a first down. That was a great effort. They finally went to the outside. They proved they can move the ball, and they picked up that first. Are we moving the chains? No. Oh, okay, no flag. All right.
First down.
Kind of hard to see the turf just because of how shiny it is.
It is. I'm looking at. I missed. I don't know if you guys. I missed the flag myself, and then I looked at him and I'm like, why ain't we moving the chains? I know the kid had enough for a first down.
So Ryan Catino with a gain of 10 as we approach the 4-minute mark in this first quarter. Dylan Reed on the near side. Split receiver set for BR. Trip on the keeper, couldn't cut the corner. And he'll make his way to maybe just behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to the line of scrimmage.
Ty Baker came into this game with 27 tackles. Initially slowed down that very talented quarterback, and he had to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and he did.
You know, one interesting thing about Bridgewater Rainham's offense, you notice they're running the T formation.
Yeah.
You just don't see that much anymore. You can call it the T, you can call it the wishbone, but
right.
You just
Full
don't
house,
see that.
exactly.
Full house, yeah.
BR Trojans lost a good number of players over the summer to ISL schools.
And in hockey, too.
Dawson DeBose, Miles Beckett among those names going to other schools here. So BR not starting off with a roster they envisioned at the start of the summer. Tripp going through the middle, picks up a couple. And going to bring up a 3rd and long from the BR 29.
3rd and 5.
Guys, that was just great effort by the Boxers swimming to the ball.
You're right. It forced Bridgewater to force them in a 3rd and long situation here.
6 carries, 17 yards on the ground for Caleb Tripp in this first quarter.
So Colin comes out, guys, and number 41, Uriel Mabine comes in for Brockton defensively. They might be going to look like they're in a dime formation defensively here.
Catino and Natsis in the backfield. Hard count by Tripp. And BR maybe starting a little further back here on 3rd down.
Yeah, this really puts them in a precarious situation if it is on Bridgewater.
So winner of this game is going to win the Southeast Conference, which is amazing to think.
Yeah.
Both teams coming into today's game at 3-7. The winner going to get a Thanksgiving victory, obviously, and a conference championship.
Yeah, that's it's kind of unique. But then again, I don't know how many times I've complained to you guys the way the glorious MIAA does stuff. So I'm just gonna say happy Thanksgiving to the MIAA. Leave it at that.
Both teams got the 3 wins. They were playoff eligible at the end, I guess. Here's Tripp going to the near side here, and this has been the BR offense for most of this first quarter, aside from that Catino 10-yard carry.
How about that, guys? They go Navy offense. They go double wing, and depending on a key block, that could have been a first down. But again, nicely read by the Boxers.
And as you said, John, you have to give both teams credit for hanging there the whole year. They're both 2 young teams, and they're battling it out, like you said, for the SEC championship this afternoon. So it's reason to celebrate here and cheer each other's teams on.
So a drive that went 29 yards. Brockton, for the moment, is going to start from their own side of the field as Montero steps back. It takes a BR roll to the Brockton 28-yard line. And let's talk about Jermaine Wiggins here, taking over for Peter Colombo. Obviously, we know about the Colombo lineage and the history for the Boxers. You guys have covered a lot of Boxers games. I mentioned, what have you seen from Coach Wiggins here, and is there any subtle changes that have been made over the season?
From what I've seen, he's holding them accountable. You got to be there at practice, and you have to keep your grades up. Otherwise, you will not play. He did that in the last game, and he sat the quarterback for a series because he was late to one of the meetings. Starter or not, he's holding these kids responsible.
Here's a handoff to the far side here for the running back. This is number 21, Luke Turco. And Turco, it feels like, is kind of that name that doesn't get mentioned. We hear a lot about Jaden Campbell. We hear a lot about Cam Montero. Luke Turco, a great running back and a great player in the secondary as well.
Yeah, he's definitely a leader on this Brockton High team all year long. He's made key plays, kept his defense together, as well as making big plays on offense. He's just an all-around football player, period.
He really is. And he did get some good looks last year when he was playing with his brother with that senior class.
So first down pickup on the first play of the drive. They stay on the ground with Turco, and the BR defense going to push back number 21. May have picked up about a half yard on the play, brings up a 2nd and 9.
The only thing I wouldn't do if I was Brockton, I would not go to the number 53 side, number 35 side again. That defensive end for the BR Trojans has proven time and time that he's ready to play.
Yeah, great to say. That right side of that Bridgewater-Rainham defense is very tough. Bridgewater just tested it, and they saw what happened. So I look for them to go more on the left-hand side in the future.
So through one quarter of play, we are scoreless between the Boxers and the Trojans here on Thanksgiving morning here at the Regional. And I mentioned that we had a return to tradition. Obviously, last year, this game went to Fenway Park, which is a great experience for the kids, I'd imagine. It was fun for us that covered the game, but still a unique opportunity, and I think a good learning experience for some of these underclassmen that got to go play at Fenway.
Yeah, and what happened in that first quarter between these two teams, they were feeling each other out. I see a little bit more happening as the game goes on, but it just might come down to who's going to make the least mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that's so true. I mean, we talked about between the trenches, and it's gonna be that key block that blows open a big play. And Coach Pacheco mentioned that when I talked to him, earlier when the guys were warming up, that one key play that he knows he's worried about Brockton blowing that one key play up and scoring. I bet you Coach Wiggins is the same way. He's worried about BR, very talented team. It's that one big play, like you just said, Miles.
Well, I talked to Lou Pacheco last week, and he said the one thing that he fears about is kind of what you said. It's that speed, that north to south play. And Brockton, we've seen in the years past, they can move the ball down the field very easily.
Well, it looks like they're changing it up.
From the 40-yard line, Montero on the near side. Handoff to Turco, straight through the middle, and picks up about 5 yards on the play for Luke Turco, right through the middle of that defensive line.
Yeah, one of the positive things about Turco is he knows how to follow his blocks and take full advantage of whatever the offensive line gives him.
Guys, that 6-yard run that Turco just had, that was a good old-fashioned trap play. They isolated that right defensive end, defensive tackle for BR, and they were able to blow it open for 6 yards.
Turco against Durfee, 5 carries, 62 yards and a touchdown. Now Brockton facing a 3rd and 4. Staying with the ground game here, it's gotten the job done. Brockton into BR territory now. A 7-yard gain for Luke Turco and a new set of downs for the Boxers.
And you can see Luke Turco has bust-out speed. Once he gets that football, the speed surprises you if you haven't seen him all year. You see it right here.
Yeah, they ISO that hole right there, and he just follows his lead blocker. He follows the lead running back, and he just takes off for a Brockton first down.
Turco this season, 80 carries. From the 48-yard line of Brockton, a handoff to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez gets stopped before he can go. It seems like Rodriguez is more that 3rd down back from what I saw in the stats initially.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John. Good job by Bridgewater Rainham for stacking up that line. Rodriguez really had nowhere to go.
Here's a great look at it right here. The Badgers, they're doing the wedge block, and that's Brockton's wedge block and their shoulder to shoulder. And BR said, no, we kind of get the idea what you're doing. They just pushed him back, and Rodriguez said, look, you just said it, Miles, had nowhere to go on that. But he did get a yard. God, that was a hard-earned yard.
Ribeiro to the far side, Montero on the near side. They've gone with a split receiver look for just about the entire drive. A 2nd and 9. They stick with Rodriguez going off tackle here, and he'll get a few yards across the 45 to the 44.
This time they tried to go off tackle again. They forced Rodriguez. What's this? He has to cut in now because he sees a bunch of red shirts in front of him. That was a great read. I mean, he still earned 3 yards, but this time that defensive line, that front 4, sometimes they'll go front 5 with a floating outside linebacker, was able to contain that one for the most part.
Last week against the Tigers, 15 carries, 66 yards, and Rodriguez darts through the defensive line into the 2nd layer of defense to the 35-yard line. A new set of downs now for the Boxers.
And you said it right. He darted right through that. I mean, he just put the burst of speed on there, Dom, and just flew right there before the defense even knew what happened.
Did you guys see who made that tackle, came across to make the tackle for the Trojans? Number 35 again. He read it right, but then again, this time they ISO'd that right guard and able to get it, but the big defensive end, now they got him down in the line. Well, now he's on the right side, back where he belongs, but on that last play, he was on the line of scrimmage playing defensive tackle. They're using his speed and his strength.
Amin Abbasi has been really a do-it-all type of player for the BR Trojans. Has played fullback, obviously a good linebacker, almost came up with a sack. Now Campbell goes down. Thanks to, there's that man, Amin Abbasi. So let's go down now once again to the 4th member of our crew, Newbie Rateau. And Newbie, you got some champs there, I see.
Listen, we got some champions over here. I mean, it's not just on the field, it's right over here. I'll tell you what, we got some very talented people here, some seniors from the cheerleading team who just competed in a great competition, who placed, and they're just going to talk about the experience and kind of, what it was all about.
Hi, I'm Chanel Rosenberg, and I'm captain. And I'm Danielle McCowan, I'm a senior. I'm Melanie Ritchie, and I'm a senior. I'm Callie Falzone, and I'm a senior captain. I'm Emily Long, and I'm a senior.
Let's talk about this competition. What was all about your experiences?
We competed in the school division for the state championship in Shrewsbury High School, where we placed 3rd out of 12 schools. And we were part of the large school division for the first time, so this is new to the program and new to game days.
It was also new for us this year because as performance team, we competed in the co-ed division for the first time. We made it to the state championship.
It was a really great experience for us. We hit almost a near-perfect routine and ended up coming in 2nd out of 10 teams. Although we placed 2nd, we were very happy with the performance. It was a great great season.
Listen, I just want to say congratulations, guys. I mean, dynamite job. You guys definitely represent the region and your town and your school very well. So, I want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
Woo! We're going to Disney!
Thank you, newbie. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Oh, I gotta move on. He's a nut. And here's a play that just happened. Watch number 44 for BR come read that. Someone missed their block assignment. You'll definitely see that on tape. But they did the right thing. They read it right. They finished the play, and that was John. Do we have that gentleman's number 44?
So he's actually not on the roster. We can find out that name for sure. He's definitely come up big a couple times here today on Thanksgiving.
Oh my! We'll just call him J.J. Watt, because that's exactly who he looked like on that play.
Big play by Bridgewater Rainham, holding Brockton on that third down situation, forcing a punt.
Kim Montero in for the punt. Of course, there's that option to fake it, but he does kick it away. And caught by Owen King to the near side, pushed out just over the 15-yard line to the 16-17. I want to get back to the cheerleaders for just a second.
Yep.
They're obviously down there with a trophy. They're always in contention for state championships, and really it's just been like a pipeline here in Bridgewater. Talk about the championship here over at Bridgewater State, going for their 7th national championship.
Wow.
So a couple of very impressive programs here in Bridgewater.
Absolutely. It's not as when I used to coach football, the cheerleaders would say if it was any easier, it'd be football. I mean, those girls bust their tails every day to get ready.
They sure do.
So now we'll see Owen King at quarterback, starting off in the shotgun position. We do have a flag.
Looks like it's going to be against the Boxers.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned on that punt return, if I can just touch on that a little bit. Number 13 for Brockton. I know he's not going to like film day because he had a chance. He had a chance to go to meet up with Owen King, and he didn't even look like he didn't even try. I guess he was expecting the returner to come at him, and that was number 13, Ribeiro. Yeah, not Jaden Ribeiro. I'm sorry, Akpin.
So a quick 5-yard pickup. To the far side, this is number 15 for the BR Trojans, Jason Kelleher. And he'll get taken down behind the initial line of scrimmage now. A 2nd and 11 for BR.
Yeah, nice job by Luke Turco getting some of that on defense. Just great pursuit by that right side of Brockton's defense.
Right, great job. And initially starting that to help out Turco was Gomes, Nazir Gomes. Great job. Great read by the defense on that side.
Owen King threw a touchdown pass against Whitman Hansen in the Trojans' last game back on the 9th. King setting back to pass, looking for his first completion of the day, almost had his first pick of the day. As number 43, John Braville, almost came up with a ball, and that would have been disaster for Bridgewater Rainham.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Brockton's defense. And you can see it on the replay, almost intercepted.
If he's 2 seconds early, he's standing up with that ball in his hands, running down the sideline.
He was looking for William Porter. Instead almost came up with a Boxers defender, but now a 3rd and 11 coming up here for Bridgewater Rainham.
I've noticed, John, that Bridgewater Rainham offense has spread out a little bit. They've only got one man in the backfield as the last play.
Here's King, quick drop.
Oh, intercepted.
And that is intercepted, brought back to the house for 6. Number 36, Jalen Jackson with the INT return.
He read that screen perfectly, guys. The other thing they did, Brockton, they brought back and Ty Baker, number 52, the other linebacker, and took out Cole, the other defensive back. And there's a look where he threw it right at him.
Yeah, wasn't a good pass.
Oh, plus the intended receiver. It looked like he slipped. I don't know if we can see that again, but he actually fell down.
Just a big break right there for the Boxers defense to come up with an interception and a score.
A near interception a couple plays ago, and this play now, Jalen Jackson taking it back to the house.
I want to say that was Dylan Reed was the intended receiver in that screen.
Number 67 now, Andrew Dos Santos coming on for the PAT, and that is going to be good. A 7-0 lead for the visiting Brockton Boxers off of a INT return. Let's take another look at this pick six.
Watch the receiver. He's going to try to slip under. He falls right there.
Yeah,
See him?
Yeah. That ball should have been a little bit
definitely
up in the air over the defender's head.
Yep. He threw a line drive almost.
And I don't think it still wouldn't matter because, like you said, the receiver slipped.
Right. The biggest thing for Coach Pacheco, you have a third-string quarterback, a very good athlete. Now he probably thinks he just blew the whole world up on one play. You have another half to play in this game. This game is, you know what I mean? And both teams are still feeling each other out. They're competing on the line. So that's big for a young quarterback. Hopefully he'll grow that next series and move the ball down the field for the Trojans.
Yeah, now it's the job of the coaches on that Bridgewater-Rainham side to calm them down, relax. And like you said, Dump, there's still a lot of football. We've got 5 minutes left in this quarter and 2 other quarters to go. So there's no need to fret. Just a tough mistake, and he should be able to rebound.
Absolutely. But just saying, that was a great defensive play by the Boxers.
Great play. It was one reason it was a great play because the defense penetrated.
Right. And you're right. On that type of play, you learn the quarterback to lob the ball over the line. But then again, what shouldn't have would have been incomplete anyway because Dylan Reed fell down.
So Dos Santos going to kick this one away for a touchback. As the BR Trojans looking to make amends for what just happened.
Let's see how Caleb comes back on this one, guys. Let's see if his head stays in the game and moves the ball down for the Trojans.
I think the key right now is with about 5 minutes and so left, Bridgewater-Rainham has to hold on to the football, move it down the field, keep the ball out of the Boxers' offensive hands, and just try to, even if you don't score, just bring the ball down the field and take some time off this clock.
So BR starting from their own 20-yard line. A QB keep here, or rather that was a handoff, it looks like, to number 33, I believe. And that is the case. Natsis.
33 Natsis on the carry.
Again, staying within the tackles. They've already proven, both teams proven, once you get to the outside, you have the God-given ability with those athletes to pick up 3 or plus yards.
We've mentioned the fact that this is a young football team. Does it look like they're maybe playing to the moment here? Are they playing perhaps a little too conservative here,
Absolutely.
not going off those tackles in the middle of the field?
Absolutely, in my opinion.
Here's a sweep by BR here. Going
he
deep,
has
looking
him.
for Porter. That is caught and dropped.
Wow.
Owen King almost had a huge play that would have put BR in great territory, but William Porter couldn't hold on to that in double coverage.
Yeah, excellent play call right here by Bridgewater.
He was well covered, folks. And you know what? Who did they go to? They went to Owen King, and he threw a perfect ball.
Perfect ball. The receiver had him by a step. It was good coverage, double coverage, but he had him by a step. He had the ball.
He did.
But unfortunately, he dropped it.
Talk about playing conservative, coming up with a near huge play.
Yeah. Well, now they're going in a double wing formation, guys, in this offensive possession.
King, the motion man, trip on the keeper to the near side, was getting blocked by his own defender. They're going to call the play dead before the ball came out. Up to the 25-yard line, and we get a timeout called by Brockton, I believe.
Here's a look at it right here, guys. On the keeper, he follows the wing back. He follows the other wing back that was in motion, Owen King, and he still picks up a couple yards.
Yeah, nice job by number 7, Ahmad Wiggins to stuff that play. One thing that
they're doing, the Trojans adjusted to, is they were able to ISO not all the time, but Ahmad Wiggins, the big linebacker for Brockton. We haven't really called his name that much because those guards and those tackles are getting to that secondary block, and Wiggins is right there, and they're able to at least shut him down for a little bit, but give him a longer time to react to the play, especially on the outside.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have the halftime performance from both Brockton and Bridgewater Rainham. A tradition here between these two teams going back over 10 years now. I think we're on year 12 of this rivalry series.
Wow, time flies, doesn't it?
It does fly. And if I can real fast, I just wanted to thank everybody who checked in on me when I had my back surgery, guys from around the country I umpired with, guys at BCA TV and BTV. I just wanted to say thank you.
Good to have you here in the press box.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you dressed up with a turkey shirt as well.
That's right. It's tight, but it's working.
It's working.
Get another stoppage here. And
looks like another timeout.
Another
Boxers.
timeout.
Yeah, Brockton.
Yeah.
Timeout Boxers.
That could come back to haunt you if BR drives the ball down and scores before this half is over.
Well, did that sweep there when King almost connected with Porter for what would have been a 35-yard pickup, did that maybe put some doubt into Coach Wiggins' mind? Because the first one you think, okay, we're trying to conserve clock. The second one, maybe they had some type of different look here, maybe another sweep situation.
Yeah, definitely so, John. It opened the eyes up for this Brockton's defense that Bridgewater's just not going to stay with the old thing. They're going to try a few tricks, and Brockton's got to be ready. They wasn't ready for that last little trick, and fortunately for Brockton, the pass was incomplete.
I totally agree. I mean, the Trojans have proven with that trick play out of the double wing formation.
Yes.
They're not afraid to do it again. They're probably not. You got nothing to lose. Just got to hopefully hit the midfield here.
So a punt upcoming with 4:07 to go. And the Boxers, again, could have favorable territory. Their first drive started off from the BR 35. A strong kick. Takes the BR roll. Montero let that go by him across the 35 to the 32.
That's almost a 13-yard difference if he calls a fair catch.
Right. I think he was a little intimidated where the Bridgewater players were right there. So he decided just let it go.
Oh, I'm sorry. He would have been at midfield if he caught that ball. So that's almost 18 yards, roughly.
Yeah, great punt.
So we see Jaden Campbell coming back out for the Brockton Boxers. He's credited his coaches with his development this season after the Durfee game, saying, "Coaches helped me develop as a player and develop as a person. The throws I couldn't make at the start of the season, I'm making them now." It looks like he's growing a little more confident as the season has gone on.
He definitely has. Absolutely.
Split receiver look. They go with Rodriguez on the ground, and there's number 44 again. CJ Lopes.
We got a name.
With a key stop. To write that down.
Right. Yeah, Lopes coming in. I'm waiting for them to put number 35 on the other side of the ball, but it's almost like you're guessing. I mean, you're hoping they come to his side. They played it right. They put him on the other side. When you know, that's where they ran to.
So the first drive of the game on offense, Brockton moved the ball pretty well, and they've had some sizable runs, but the BR defense has done a good job withstanding the Brockton offense. Handoff to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is going to be stopped.
Lopes again on that initial stop for the Trojans. Here's a look at it right here, guys. Watch this. Watch Lopes come in. They try to ISO him. No, he's right there. I'm sorry. It was the cornerback coming in on a blitz. And Lopes started it. And number 7, John, for
Matthew Nicholas also assisting there.
Yeah, great penetration by that left side of that defense for Bridgewater Rainham.
Looks like I keep on saying Badgers. Oh, you know, with that being said, I want to give a big shout out to the Badgers, Bridgewater Badgers D7 Mites team who won the Super Bowl. last week against okay, Dom, 38-8 against Duxbury. It was a fun game. My two nephews played. One plays running back, the other one plays defensive end and tackle, and it was so much fun. The hardest thing is we were doing the PA, but we were in Duxbury, so I had to make it sound like, try to sound neutral. It was tough. But, but congratulations to the little guys, the Bridgewater Badgers Mike's team, for winning the D7 Super Bowl.
The Badgers, also the Rainham Giants, two very talented youth football programs here in Bridgewater and Rainham. And that's been credited by Dan Biron when he was the head coach here, just that pipeline and the familiarity between the coaches at the youth football program and obviously here at BR. And I believe Lou Pacheco actually helped out with the Rainham Giants before he came here to BR.
Excellent. This is a big third down, guys, with 3 minutes exactly left in this first half.
A four-receiver set, three to the near side here, including number 12 for the Boxers, Ribeiro. Campbell getting rushed and getting dropped in the backfield. Number 4 in on the play for the BR Trojans. Charles Swenson, also number 69, Volson Charles.
I'd tell you, Brockton's offensive line did a great job giving their quarterback more than enough time. He just couldn't find anybody out there. Again, he should just threw it away if he can't find anybody. But then again, throw it towards Cam Montero. He can make things happen even if he has somebody covered.
And that's what Coach Wiggins was worried about, the maturity of this kid. He could have took off for about 5 yards as well. He had the seam, but he was trying a little bit too much, I think. If you watch this thing, he's looking downfield.
Look at the time.
And look at the time he has. He definitely could have at least made it back. I think he could have picked up 3, but great pursuit by that Trojans defense. They were relentless. And there's Lopes again, number 44, the other defensive end, in on that stop helping out.
Yeah, Keller Jason did a nice job. You can see in the left hand on that replay, left-hand corner of your screen where Montero was at. Montero's the type of player. You can throw it up there, and he's got the athletic ability to make something happen, even if somebody's covering him.
The other gentleman that's waking up for the Trojans is number 7,
Matt Nicholas.
Yeah, Matt, thank you. And he's starting to come alive in that outside linebacker spot. When they go to the 5-2, he's definitely standing. Now he's right there behind number 35. Oh, they're coming. They're going to try to block this.
Owen King awaiting this kick. Calls for the fair catch over the 35 at the 36. So the BR Trojans have 2:39 to make something happen here in this first half. And we're starting to see this offense feel a little more gutsier here on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling much more comfortable than they did in that first quarter. So Brockton's defense got to be on their toes.
And if you think about the linebacker play and the defensive end play, I have to give to the Trojans right now. The linebacker play for both of them, just about even. They're reading about the rights, you know what I mean? And the defensive backs.
And we get a timeout called by the BR Trojans, and this has been something we saw against New Bedford a few weeks ago. The kids just having difficulties at times focusing on one thing, because I believe it was out of the halftime break. BR got the ball first. I think their second play in with 11:45. Lou Pacheco had to call a timeout and focus his players back up.
Yeah, that's tough to do. I mean, you practice in the off season. You have 4, maybe 3 controlled scrimmages with other teams. But when you lose your 2 best we don't know how the Trojans would have ended up if their 2 quarterbacks got hurt. But you want to step up and he calls your number, you got to be ready to play.
Exactly. And I think this offense, the offensive coordinators for Bridgewater, they really want to try and get something going here. Plenty of time, 2 minutes, 39 seconds left. They like to, again, march down the field and try to get something out of this before the half ends. They definitely don't want to give it back to Brockton. And like you said, John, the offense has felt a little bit more comfortable as time has gone on. And you don't see that wing formation in the backfield or the T formation. They've kind of spread it out a little bit, but you can see here's tight.
In his pregame warm-ups, Lou Pacheco ended his speech to his players saying that he loved them. before they got ready for the warm-ups. Nat sits on the carry, and he tried making something out of nothing there. Gets tripped up and pulled down for a short gain.
Yeah, he looked like he broke the tackle, but then as he tried to get going, he was tripped up. You'll see it right here.
Watch Jalen Jackson, number 36. There you go. There's a trip up right there to slow him down. Great play by Jackson.
Yeah, nice job by Jackson.
Jackson with a pick six earlier. The lone score in this game coming up on 2 minutes to go. Trip on second down, gets about half the yardage needed across the 40 to the 42. Going to bring up a second and about 4 or 5.
Caleb Tripp up to the 42-yard line. It'll be third down, 3rd and 5.
Great pursuit by the Boxers on that one. They go back double wing, gentlemen. They look staying with that double wing formation.
26 yards rushing for Tripp in this first half. Quick pitch to the near side, little misdirection, and taking a hard hit there is number 81, Dylan Reed. And Jermaine Wiggins going to burn his third and final timeout for the Brockton Boxers with 1:29 to go on a 4th down coming up here for BR.
Yeah, that was a beautiful takedown by Turco. You'll see it here on the replay. Just a great play.
And 43, John Brevel helps out too on this.
Ooh, that was that was 43.
Yep. See that? I do pay attention every now.
Nice job.
And also, who did we talk about? Ahmad Wiggins, number 70, starting to add make his presence known. That he'll be there for the outside sweeps.
You see Lou Pacheco in his 3rd season as BR head coach. I talked to him before the game and said, you know, you face such a fire hose of talent in the first month of the season. It was Duxbury, St. John's Prep, Zavarian. So his team started off from behind the blocks there in 21. 22, a lot of people looking ahead to Fenway Park. 23, it seems like he's starting to feel a little more comfortable with the schedules and really how the high school game goes, and a little more familiar with how things go here at BR.
4th down, 4th and 5, folks.
So number 20, Mason Berry, who's handled a lot of the kicking duties over the past couple of seasons, going to kick this away. Never mind, he's going to fake it, but that's going to be incomplete. BR was looking for a flag, nothing going there, so instead just another huge turn of events.
Well, we thought we had a chance. We knew they were brave enough to do the razzle-dazzle. Did that on 4th down. He catches that ball. That's a first down, and, you know, we don't know where he would end it up, but just came up short.
And that's not a bad play right there. I mean,
No.
The ball's like in the middle of the field, a little bit on the Bridgewater-Rainham side, but I give kudos to the Bridgewater coaching staff trying to catch Brockton off guard.
And with 2, 3, and 7 teams, these are typically the games, I think, where you have those plays that you try out in practice and you say, maybe can we do it in a game? I guess we'll try it on Thanksgiving morning.
Right.
What better day?
So now Brockton takes over on offense with 83 seconds left in BR territory. A new quarterback in on this play, almost completed
no,
to
that's
Montero.
intercepted.
Was that intercepted? It was. Number 4, Charles Swenson with the pick.
Great defensive play. You'll see it right here, Don.
Yeah, I think he threw it to the right of the intended receiver, or to his left, in right place, right time, was number 4 for the Trojans.
You're right, and they were trying to get it to Cam Montero, but you're right, it was a little bit behind him, and the defense made a great play.
He's got to finish his route. That was a well-placed ball. Jaden Wooten has to finish that route. It's almost like he stopped because he got hit by the defender when the defender tried to come on and make the tackle, and then the ball's tipped, and he picks it off. There's a chance for the Trojans right now with 1:17 left in the half.
How about Jason Kelleher also breaking through and holding the feet there of Montero just for a second to throw off his timing. Porter on the near side here for Bridgewater-Rainham. King going to take this one on a keeper through the middle. Going to get initially stopped by number 7, Ahmad Wiggins, who you guys have been talking about in this first half.
Yeah, Wiggins, here he goes right here. Watch this, guys. On the RPO. He'll keep it. And there's Mr. Wiggins. They're going to go no huddle here, gentlemen.
The 4-yard pickup. King Throwing through the middle of the field. That is going to be intercepted.
And that's Turco.
It's Turco.
This has turned into a game of hot potato here in the past couple of minutes, and Luke Turco coming up with the interception.
Yeah, great read by Turco.
One thing about the Turco boys, even his older brother last year, they have no fear. They don't care what other color shirts are around. They will try to make that play.
Yeah, you can tell that the Turcos have been playing football ever since they were midgets.
My goodness.
I mean, they just got an instinct about that football. They know what to do when they're out there.
So we see Wooten coming back. Throws this one and nearly picked up off the ground there by number 34, Casey Rhodes, but going to be incomplete.
Guys, watch the ends for the Trojans come in and close the door. Oh boy, he was like seconds away getting sacked.
Again at halftime, we'll hear from the Brockton and BR marching bands. But still 42 seconds to go here. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, you're right, Dom. Both defensive ends for Bridgewater Rainham have been beasts so far in this first half, and Brockton's quarterback's got to be careful.
It's Amin, right, John? Number 35.
Amin Abbasi.
Amin Abbasi.
Second down. Split receiver look here for Brockton, rolling out, looking to get out of a sack potential, and picking up a couple yards there. And I think that's actually Marco Samedo, if I'm looking at the roster correctly, number 14.
Yep, Sabedo, correct.
Third down.
You have to give your hats off to the Trojans in their secondary on this offensive possession. They've been really covering those boxes receivers.
BR almost feels like a Big Ten type of team. Defense first, and when they're on offense, just running the ball left and right. And this has gone back decades now before this year's generation of the Trojans. Ribeiro on the near side. 2 receivers to the far side for Brockton now. 33 seconds to go on a 3rd and 7. Samedo throwing, and that is going to be caught and out of bounds.
Nice play.
There again is number 34, Rhodes.
Yeah, that was a great pass. He couldn't put it anywhere else but right there to the outside so the defender couldn't have a chance to get it. And a great job by the receiver to keep his foot in bounds.
I think he might have got 2 feet in.
Yeah.
That was a great play. Nicely covered, too. He had to
Nicely covered, yes.
He had to throw a perfect ball.
Casey Rhodes, just his 2nd catch of the season, had his first against Taunton back on November 9th. Clock stops with a 1st down, and Rhodes did get out of bounds, so 27 seconds left. Samedo again playing out of the gun. To the near side now. Ribeiro gets away from his defender. The ball came out, but they're going to call him down.
Yeah.
Jaden Lopes Ribeiro was down, the junior receiver. Clock continues to tick down now to 19 seconds. And Samedo's going to spike it with 15 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter.
So what do you do, John? Do you throw it into the here's the replay.
Yep. When he turns, what's his knee down? That's what I was curious about. Last minute tackle right here.
Right there.
Oh yeah, the ground caused the fumble.
Yeah.
So when he hit the turf, it came loose. Okay. I didn't know if it was prior to that he lost control of it or.
So the question is, do you throw a Hail Mary with 15 seconds on the clock?
Well, if you throw another out pass like you did to get that last 1st down, you still give you 7 seconds.
7 seconds, yeah.
At least.
I think you almost replicate what we saw with that play with Samedo throwing to Rhodes on the far side. You pick up 5-6 yards, and you increase your chances.
2nd and 10.
A 2nd down coming up here. Ribeiro to the far side. Samedo has all the time. And that is going to be to the left, or excuse me, to the right of his intended receiver. Tried for Ribeiro, but instead going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Watch the way he releases the ball. Looks like he never got a firm grip on that ball. Just see how his arm was?
Yeah.
It looked like he never got the, use
Right.
an old school cliche, never got enough mustard on it to lead the receiver. It almost looked like he was hesitating, and it looked like he was expecting that receiver to come back. But he threw it like it was going to be a comeback, though.
The lone score of the game so far today is a Jalen Jackson INT return earlier in the 2nd quarter.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to Coach Kelleher of Abington, finishing up 50 years of high school football at Abington High School. They take on the Vikings of East Bridgewater.
Smedo again looking to go deep, tipped up and knocked away by Swenson. Right into kind of a crisscross pattern in the secondary.
4th down. 4 seconds.
I think Matthew Nicholas, number 7, initially got his hand on that, and he did. Great play by Nicholas.
Yep, great play. And Brockton, I'm sure, is going to go for it with only 4 seconds to go. Why not?
You know you're going to put a robber or someone, and you're going to basically have 2 guys on Montero. And it's just going to be up to these other kids. But he has to lead them, though. Looks like those last 2 balls were really underthrown. I know it's a timing thing.
4th down.
We haven't really heard from Montero at all today.
No.
Going to be on the far side, number 1. Smedo getting rushed and getting dropped, and that is how the first half will end. Courtesy of a sack, thanks to number 4, Charles Swenson.
Swenson could have not. They were heavy on the left side, the Brockton left side of that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a lot of pressure put on the quarterback. He really didn't have time. Only 4 seconds on the clock, but just too much pressure by Bridgewater Rainham's defense.
So I believe we're making an effort right now and getting head coach Jermaine Wiggins and Newbie Rittos down there getting all organized, turkey hat and all. He talks to the Brockton head coach, Jermaine Wiggins. Newbie, it's all yours.
Defense, guys, definitely had you guys' back. What do you got to do for the offense to start in the second half?
We got to stop losing yards on 1st down. We got to add to the sticks. We're losing too many yards on 1st down, and now we're in 2nd and long and 3rd and long. So we got to do a better job on 1st down. And when we do a good job on 1st down, it allows us to open up our playbook.
Defense so far.
Oh, man, the defense is playing amazing. They're keeping us in the game. Everything we expect them to do. Just got to make sure they keep coming out and doing that in the 2nd half.
Last question. What do you think about the
I love the turkey hat. I can't wait to get some.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Jeez.
Back to you guys. I see you.
Thank you, Newbie.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you, Coach Wiggins. And again, the Brockton Boxers up 7-0, courtesy of a Jalen Jackson pick 6. We will step aside for a moment here at the regional, and we told you we'd bring it to you. Here it is, the halftime show, thanks to the Brockton and BR Marching Band.
Hey, what did Wiggins say there at the very end about his hat?
Tristan Fuller. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome to the field. Welcoming out to the field, the Bridgewater Rainham Marching Band. Gentlemen, the field is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Bridgewater Rainham Marching Band. As we continue into our last inning, let's give it up for the Bridgewater Rainham cheerleading squad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Bridgewater Rainham cheerleading team.
Welcome back here to Bridgewater Rainham. The Brockton Boxers on top of the BR Trojans 7-0. We get set to send it down now to the fourth member of our crew, Newbie Rateau, with Bridgewater Rainham head coach Lou Pacheco. Newbie?
Thanks, John. You're Coach Pacheco. Coach, your thoughts on the second half? What do you guys got to do to get the lead in this game?
So we were talking a little early. We just got to battle. Right now, we just don't have any field position. So we've been kind of hamstrung with our playbook because we've been inside our own 35 for most of the game. So hopefully we start working a little field position, a little special teams. We need one score to get this game going. And then maybe it's an overtime thriller for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? That's the plan, anyways. They get the ball first. So this first series is huge for us.
I know you talked about briefly about limiting big plays. Is that what you want to see in the first half?
The first half was perfect, but now it's huge. Because like I said, one score here feels like three, right? So this first series we got to try to get a stop right here. It's a big one.
Last question: does this turkey hat make you hungry?
No, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think you had that last year too. Outstanding.
Take it easy. Happy Thanksgiving. All right. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Newbie. It sounds like we have one coach in favor of the turkey hat and one coach, who says, you know what, I appreciate the effort, but, you had that last year.
Oh, that was funny. That was good.
All right, John Lott back here with Dominic Damiano and big game Miles Jackson. And Miles, I think you foreshadowed it. You said one of these teams is going to come down to a mistake, and so far in the first half, it was Owen King making that mistake, unfortunately, with that pick six by Jackson.
Exactly, because both teams, they're young, so they're out here trying to do the best they can. So it's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes to come out of here with some type of win.
Yeah, I think for Bridgewater, I'll start with Bridgewater. It was definitely, they're not afraid to razzle-dazzle. They went for it on fourth down, and then they went out of the double wing. I think they need to go away from the double wing if they're going to pull any type of razzle-dazzle because they have so many fast and strong athletes. I think if they go back to the eye and spread it out or go to a spread and then they try to razzle-dazzle, that might catch Brockton off guard. We've seen it 3 years ago when Brockton did it to BR here. And Brockton's is playing, in my opinion, they're playing more conservative, where they stand between the tackles. They'll throw those sweeps out, but you have that good back that's definitely with the back on. I can't believe I forgot his name. So anyway,
think about that turkey.
I'm thinking about the turkey too. I'm starving.
That's just the fan before the turkey.
Oh my God.
So
Luca, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. It's Turco. I'm thinking of Luke Turco. His brother was the same thing. His brother was a very good athlete last year. So my point is, you got to give the ball to Turco. Turco has been the guy that's been producing for your offense. Get him to the outside. Trap the inside. He's averaging about 3 yards every time they trap the ball between the tackles.
So Bridgewater Rainham at the end of that first half defensively, they were playing with fire, but let's go back to that last play, Don, because you wanted to pinpoint one or two things about kind of the breakdown of that play from beginning to end, and really a game-saving sack in the backfield against Brockton.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. You look at it right now. If you watch as he gets forced to his right, there are 4 green shirts offside off the center. The first thing you're supposed to do as a quarterback is count what even side you have. Because, of course, if you have 6 on one side, hypothetically, and you only have 4 on the other side, which is your strong or weak side?
Exactly.
And unfortunately, Samid didn't see that. And that's why they were able to pull off that play. He was looking to his right more than he was looking to his left. As you see, look, he has 3 guys lined up on the center, off the center. He has 1 tackle. Linebacker is covering the wing back on the inside, and they just eat up his left side of the line of scrimmage for the Boxers. And that's one of those situations you have to check off that play.
So the Brockton Boxers will be on offense first here in the second half. With the only score in this game, a Jalen Jackson pick 6 from about 12 yards out. And besides that, it's been a pretty back and forth game, including that stretch. I think we had 3 or 4 turnovers in about 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, both defenses have played outstanding today so far. But as far as Brockton goes, their offense, another key offense besides Turco getting the ball to him.
Yep.
Because he can make things happen. They somehow got to get the ball in Cam Montero's hands.
We only seen it once.
Exactly, and they need to try to get some plays to get him the football in his hands and see what he can do.
Absolutely.
So let me ask this. With a 7-0 game like this, is this more a BR game or a Brockton game? Because it seems like for Brockton, for them to win, they need to have that north-south operation. They run the ball well, but it just doesn't look like a Brockton type of football game.
No, not really. I mean, I think... Go ahead, I'm sorry, Miles.
No, I would say you hit it right on the money, John. This isn't a typical Brockton game. It's too close. Bridgewater can make something happen. Bridgewater needs to blow it out. Brockton needs to make some type of exciting play and score.
What a great heads-up play.
Yeah, there you go.
By the Boxers. That was a set play. That gunner, if you watch the kickoff, the gunner on the far side, he plays that perfect, and the ball stayed in bounds. And what a great play. That was Wiggins who was expecting that ball to go out of bounds for the Boxers.
Yeah, and you can't expect anything.
No.
He should have went over there and dived at that football because obviously the Bridgewater Rainham player did exactly what he was supposed to do. Great play.
Yeah, yet they lined up those 2 gunners on the kickoff. That's a set play.
Jason Kelleher recovering what was essentially an onside kick there.
Exactly, except 15 yards downfield and 20 yards downfield.
So Caleb Tripp back under center at quarterback, has 8 carries, 26 yards rushing. We've seen a 2-quarterback system here today. A handoff to Natsis through the middle, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the first down.
Now, I know this is only one play, but if you watch this, watch how the Trojans isolate that out defensive end, and they get a double team Wiggins to open up that hole in the second line.
Picking up the speed here between plays. Catino in the backfield. And
might have been some movement.
Going to be a false start against the Trojans.
Oh, but the way the Bridgewater team has looked,
right, they thought it was against Brockton.
Yeah, and it is.
It is against Brockton.
My apologies.
And obviously somebody on the Brockton line there lined up offsides.
Yep. And those new NHSF rules where they don't want the lineman to engage. As soon as you jump, offense or defense, they try to blow it dead.
Yeah.
Well, not new now. What are we doing? Almost going on 5 years. We're so used to NCAA or whatever they used to run. Well, you have NCAA.
So everything breaking BR's way here to start off the second half. Kelleher on the near side. Now Catino going to be the motion man. Tripp rolls out to the far side, going to be sure the first down by a couple, but Caleb Tripp picking up 9, and this BR offense is starting to hum along a little bit here to open up the second half.
Yeah, excuse me, Don. They got a little momentum going on here, so definitely take advantage of it.
Secondary blocking again by the Trojans. And then Caleb broke 2 tackles to grab that 9 yards for the Trojans.
Same formation, same motion, man, and Tripp this time going a little further to the outside. And he'll be short of the first down. And when you have a quarterback like Caleb Tripp, kind of that wildcat formation type of quarterback, it comes down to gap play here, and which gap do you want to go through, A or B?
You're exactly right. It comes down to the gap. Which gap is he going to choose to move up the field?
That last play on the keeper, that was set up for an option, but the Brockton defensive tackle and the defensive end on that right side of the offensive line shut that down so he couldn't get it off.
Caleb Tripp has 13 yards rushing on this drive. Tripp to the near side now, and Tripp will get wrapped up and pulled down. Number 45, Jordan DePino was in on that, along with number 7, Ahmad Wiggins. Wiggins back in the play call here.
Again, double wing formation, guys. This time the Boxers came up, and they weren't even playing. They weren't even sunning. There's Wiggins right there, slowing them down, but that's all that was. That was basically double wing, and they sealed off that sweep.
A big 4th and 1 coming up here for the BR Trojans. 9:10 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, this is big for the Trojans offense.
Natsis in the backfield. And Tripp will force his way through, and BR is going to get the first down up to the 10-yard line.
You know, John, that's what I was expecting to happen the last game. The last down there. Just take the quarterback and go straight. You need it on less than a yard.
You know what? I wish I could pick my lottery numbers that good.
You did shell out a good amount for that turkey.
I did.
For that turkey shirt.
I did. Someone says I look like a billboard on Route 18.
Just gonna leave that alone. It's Thanksgiving. I have to be nice.
Yeah, one day.
So now a 1st and goal situation for the Trojans. Tripp with a hard count and a handoff to Natsis, and does he get across the goal line is the question. They're going to call him down at the 1.
See, that was great effort. See it right here on the screen.
You know, that's something I haven't seen a lot of. An RPO out of a double wing formation.
Yeah.
That tells you how what adjustments they made on that offensive line of scrimmage for the Trojans.
19 yards on 4 carries for Natsis here this morning. Here's Tripp, gets pushed in, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Trojans. Caleb Tripp has been working for it today, and he's got a 1-yard score, and it's now a 1-point game.
Yeah, great job by Bridgewater Rainham to punch that in. They worked for it, but they got their 6 points.
Here's a look at it right here, Miles and John. All hard work effort. The kid never gave up.
No.
Now Brockton has to come back. Their linebacker play. We try to point out the try.
Mason Berry, we got a whistle before anything could happen going against Brockton.
Yeah.
You know what? That referee has to be the loudest referee in the history of referees in high school football. I could almost make out exactly what number he was yelling out. Oh, they're going to go for 2.
So now, because of that penalty, it moves up a yard, up to the 2-yard line. For now, it looks like a 2-point try, and it almost feels like deja vu, because we were here a couple years ago. BR was down by, I believe it was a point in the 4th quarter. Lou Pacheco went for a 2-point conversion, came up empty there, and he brought it up during the conversation I had with him last week.
Brockton linebackers have to step up. They're at the 2-yard line.
From the 2. Hard count again. Handoff. Catino. Trojans get 2.
Again, they ISO'd that outside.
Yeah, that was a nice formation. Coach had them spread out. So that takes away some of the defensive guys closer in, and just a perfect play right there. Offensive line did a great job opening up a hole for their running back to get through there for the 2-point conversion.
They're able to seal out that defensive tackle and blow out. And the back has had to play up. When you're in the 2-yard line, you have to play closer. I mean, there's always a chance they could do a little slip screen or, or something like that. But when you're that close, when you're on the 2-yard line, the backers have to come up.
They have to.
At least from our angle, it looked like they were a lot further back. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Boxers answer. What a great start for the Trojans. I mean, Gunner gets that play at the Brockton, 40-yard line to start that offensive set.
Started out with that Jason Kelleher onside kick recovery that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Natsas with a good carry. Tripp had a good carry as well. It culminates in a 1-yard carry for Tripp into the end zone and a Ryan Catino 2-point conversion.
Yeah, the BR offense showed a lot of confidence on that drive there.
Heads-up play. Nice heads-up play by the Boxers.
Covered up by number 23, Jared Mighty, who I believe had a 101-yard interception return for a touchdown against Durfee.
He did.
Talking to Brian Lynch, the statistician for the Brockton Boxers, he said that he believes that's the longest interception return for a touchdown, what Mighty did against the Hilltoppers.
There was another one, but it was only 87 yards. I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me in my old age. Hopefully the name will come back to me. But there was one. I remember it was 87 yards. I forget who the Brockton Boxer was.
So we see number 14 back out at quarterback here, Marcio Semedo. Sweep to Montero. Cam Montero is going to pick up about a yard. He had a 15-yard run off the jet sweep, I think one of the first plays of the game. But besides that, we haven't heard a lot from number 1.
Not a lot, and that's a good sign right there. Give the ball to Cam, see what he can do.
Number 2, watch number 2. He is essentially the robber for the Trojans. He didn't make the play, but he's following everywhere Montero goes.
That offensive line is going to be key for Brockton's offense in this second half. They're going to have to really step up and push this BR defensive line back.
Walter Rodriguez in the backfield on Semedo's right. Montero again the motion man, swept across, handoff goes to number 3 there, Rodriguez, into BR territory to the 48-yard line. About a 6-yard gain for number 3.
I like that play call right there. They kind of faked it to Montero and gave it to Rodriguez. Fooled the defense for a second or two.
I just want to see a better fake by Montero because there are so many. There are basically 11 defenders watching everywhere number 1 goes.
That's a good point. He needs to do a little bit better job faking.
8 carries, 29 yards on the ground for Walter Rodriguez up to this point. 6:18 to go in the third quarter. Third and 3 for the Boxers driving. Woo! And just like that, snuffed out by number 52, Vincent Tavares. The Trojans stopped any momentum from the Boxers on that drive.
Yeah, excellent description. Snuffed him out.
Can you say untouched? That was all God-given ability. He blew right past that center, and he said hello to Mr. Rodriguez in the Brockton backfield.
Before the season, Lou Pacheco talked to the Brockton Enterprise and actually called Vincent Tavares, who came up with that sack there, and said he should be a power lifter. And we see right there why.
My God.
Bursting through.
Now, if he hit me, I'd still be down.
They'd be bringing the smelling sauce.
Absolutely, twice.
So Montero going to kick away to King. And it doesn't go very far. It did go high, though, inside the 20. And the BR Trojans going to start from their own 17-yard line.
For the Boxers, their linebacker play I know that when they go to the second level and blocking, everyone's looking at number 7 Ahmad Wiggins for Brockton. BR made that adjustment. Here's a look at it right here again. Watch him untouched, bang. Sound effects were free. He just lit him up.
That's the type of explosiveness the Trojans fans have seen from Amin Abbasi, who we've seen a lot today from.
Yeah. So let's see if they stay outside tackle, or throw another trap at Brockton.
Tripp surveying the defense here from the Boxers. Coutinho again in motion. Handoff goes to Natsis to the far side now, and he'll get a small gain, if any. They'll give him forward progress to the 19, it looks like.
Oh, that's not good. Ahmad Wiggins is going out. That's not good for Brockton.
No.
So you have another younger linebacker coming in. I believe that was number 50 for Brockton, if I read that number right.
That's 50. That'd be Ruben Bernard.
So they just lost a key linebacker on the left side of that defensive line out of this 5-2 look.
Here's a QB keep from Tripp, and Tripp gets bounced around and dropped at the 20.
That was a great fake. I was looking at the, here it is on the replay. Great fake. But it didn't fool the Brockton defense.
No. And there he is, number 23 for Brockton, Jared Mighty. And on the stop, we haven't really called his number. We called him his number a lot in the regular season, but here they're watching him big time. And now Wiggins is back into the game.
In.
3rd and 7 now, inside of 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. On Thanksgiving, a hard count from Tripp again, fakes the pitch.
A little counter inside.
Hands off inside to number 13 this time. That's Jace Pinardi.
And who makes the tackle?
Wiggins.
Number 7.
He's right in there.
He was. Kid sees the ball really well.
So now on 4th down, the BR Trojans going to kick it away.
And that was a good job by the defense to hold that Bridgewater Rainham offense, who has the momentum right now. But the defense stood tall and forced a punt.
And they faked a punt before.
Yes.
Mason Berry set to kick it away. Good end-over-end kick into Montero's hand inside the 45. Looking to get away from a couple of defenders here.
Oh, what
Cuts
a nice
the near
block.
side. Montero, there's a flag down. So this is probably coming back off of a hard block.
And the thing about it is he didn't need to make that block. Montero already had the corner. Really didn't need to make that block. Just a mental mistake right there by the Boxer player.
The other thing, and once we look at the street play, you got to watch the block. That defender off for the kickoff punting team, literally threw his shoulder to take the penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To sell the penalty.
Right.
Because I've seen this, and you guys have seen this, where it's so tic-tac, if you will, on a hit like that. But they're on the field. We're up here. Because that was a great return by Montero. And that's only like, the 3rd, 4th time we've seen him have the ball in his hands.
Again, he needs to touch the football. Anything can happen.
All right, so it's a spot foul, guys, right?
So a block in the back, going to be a 10-yard penalty. Let's take a look at the penalty again.
He cuts one way. He stiff arms this gentleman here. Now here comes the block, right?
Right there. That's a little ticky-tack, but there was no reason for it.
Exactly. Unfortunately, he cost the Boxers.
They could have been deep in BR's territory.
Yeah.
On the sideline right now, Pete Smith, the BR trainer, taking a look at Jace Pinardi. Working on his left leg. The Boxers take over on offense. Rodriguez through the middle with a short pickup here.
This is a great play by the Trojans front five right here. And who's there again? The defensive end from the far side of the field for the Trojans, number 44, Mr. Lopes. He initially makes that stop. That's a back pursuit is what he's doing on that tackle because he's coming from behind the line to get that ball carrier.
Rodriguez, 18 carries for 139 and a touchdown against Braintree in the consolation round. They stay on the ground with number 3 again, and Rodriguez stopped by Tavares and a couple other defenders to the 39.
I mean, hats off to the Trojans. They made adjustments in the line of scrimmage, and they woke up their front five when they go to a front five package. And now these guys are reading the ball well.
Yeah, defense has really adjusted well for BR on this Brockton offense. Really, they've held them at bay all day.
Big play here as we approach a minute to go in the third quarter. Ribeiro, Montero on the far side, Semedo under center with Turco in the backfield. Takes the handoff, Semedo gonna throw.
Oh, he has a receiver.
On up, that is gonna be knocked away. Good play on defense, number 24 for the BR Trojans, Weston Alexander in there on the coverage.
Yeah, Alexander made the big play here, Dom, you'll see it. Because that looked like he was going to catch it, but he came in at the right time.
He timed that perfect.
Perfectly.
And he had to. If he doesn't, that's in his hands. He's off for 6. Great play by that defender.
Against the Whalers on that senior night game that I keep bringing up, the BR Trojans on defense got called, I believe, for 4 or 5 pass interference calls. So a play like that, it almost felt like there was a pause to see what was going to happen. Takes a Brockton bounce and roll out at the 27-yard line. And Dom, you mentioned a big game in Abington today for their longtime head coach after 50 seasons, but we have a lot of other great action as well.
Yeah, we do. Coach Keller, I apologize. Initially, I was thinking of the Rockland game because Rockland's playing East Bridgewater. Abington against Coach Kelleher's 50th year. Jim Kelleher, like you said, John, they're at Whitman Hanson today. Duxbury's playing Marshfield. Both teams are going to the Super Bowl. Same thing with Carver. Middleborough's out, but Carver comes into the Thanksgiving Day game 11-0. Hanover, the Hawks, they stay undefeated. They will play Foxborough in the Division 5 Super Bowl, and I'll tell you the rest in a minute.
That could be an interesting game with Hanover undefeated in a rivalry game on Thanksgiving. Interesting to see what they have for starters, as the first play on this drive is going to be a handoff to number 28, Katina, who picked up that 2-point conversion on the score.
So the Super Bowl layout is just like his. Well, first we'll look at this. This time, watch the cornerback. Watch number 9 for Brockton. This time he got rid of the block. He was able to help out. But the other Super Bowl matchups we guys got Wednesday, we have Division 8, West Boylston, they'll take on Carver at 5:30. Division 1, St. John's Prep against Severian, 8 p.m. Thursday. Division 4, Salem and Fairhaven, 3 o'clock. Division 2, King Philip, Marshfield, 5:30. This is Thursday night. Division 3, Milton and Walpole. And I believe we have a timeout.
This is the end of the third quarter with the Trojans on top, 8-7.
So finishing up Division 3, Milton, Walpole, 8 o'clock. Friday, December 1st. Division 7, Uxbridge and Amesbury, 3 o'clock. We don't care about that. It's North Shore. I'm only kidding. And then you have Duxbury and Scituate going at it at 5:30. That should be a great game because they're both out of the Patriot League. And then you have Hanover out of the Patriot League taking on Foxborough out of the Hockomock, and they're going to kick off at 8, John, on Friday.
So the BR Trojans up 8-7 here at Bridgewater Rainham. And guys, as you know, the Brockton Boxers have been led to the field this season with the jersey of a fallen teammate, 18-year-old Mackay Boston, and his 15-year-old brother Terry died in a car accident this past July. The team has taken a pregame knee in the end zone in past years, but this year has an added prayer. Cam Montero told Jason Snow at the Brockton Enterprise, "We just pray to be here another day because we've seen our 2 brothers die tragically. When we're in the end zone praying, we don't take life for granted. they would love to be out here with us, and quote, balloons were released at the Brockton Raiders Family Day back in July. Both Terry and Mackay played for the youth football program. A scholarship fund was started on GoFundMe, and we had the address there on the bottom of the screen if you'd like to donate. How about this? There's been just over $60,000 raised in that fund. So
that's awesome.
For such a sad story, a great turn event there. $60,000 for a scholarship.
I can't speak for Miles, but what a great kid calling his games.
And they do have the number 75 jersey of Mackay Boston on the bench over on the far side of the field. And you guys were there the first night when they came out against Barnstable. I mean, just a moving night for a lot of those players that played with Mackay just last year.
Yeah, very emotional for the team. And again, two great students for Brockton, and it's just a shame that that tragic accident happened, but they must move on.
We are thinking of the Boston family here on this Thanksgiving. An 8-7 game here between the BR Trojans and Brockton Boxers. Ryan Catino on the near side catching that pitch across the 40 up to the 39-yard line.
Jared Mighty starting to let people know he's in the game. Good to see for the Boxers defense.
Yeah, Brockton defense needs to hold again, get the ball back in their offensive hands. But once Brockton gets the ball again, they're going to have to do something with it. They're going to have to march down the field somehow and put some points on the board. Again, Bridgewater Rainham's defense has done an excellent job against this Brockton offense.
It almost feels like a battle of wills here between BR and Brockton. As a lot of this game has been played between the 30s. Here's a handoff to Natsis, and Natsis getting pulled down by number 2, Xavier Cologne.
Oh, great effort by Natsis. He didn't want to go down on that play.
No, he didn't.
Just kept moving his legs. You'll see it here on the replay.
So the Trojans offense working its way to the 48-yard line, facing a 3rd and 2. And as you see, Cologne pulling down Natsis.
And Natsis got some strong legs. Just kept moving them.
Porter to the far side. We've seen a lot of the ground game here in this second half. And they stick with the ground game. Trip into Brockton territory. Still moving along to the 43-yard line. Caleb Tripp getting the job done here in the second half, guys.
Yeah, they're definitely getting the job done. This BR offense just driving down the field, taking time off that clock.
Boxers have to finish these defensive plays. I know Coach Wiggins wasn't happy offensively. Now he's seeing a couple plays get by his defense as far as finishing tackles.
Yeah, right now this BR offense has the momentum.
Catino moving around to the near side now. Again, they go with Tripp. Moving to the near side. Caleb Tripp taking off, turning on the afterburners to the house. Number 6 picks up 6 for BR.
Just a great run. I mean, just shedding tackles. Poor tackling by the Brockton defense, but just a great effort by Bridgewater's quarterback.
Watch how he follows his block. He has 2 wing backs. Number 35, key block right there. Gets by Turco, and then he's off to the races.
Yeah, he shedded two tackles there, and one of them was Turco. You got to give the BR quarterback credit for just an outstanding run.
Again, I don't know what they said. They made some fine adjustments in this second half.
They sure have.
Mason Berry now on for the PAT. And it is a 15-7 game here at the regional. Very important PAT there now, because if the Brockton Boxers get in the end zone, they have to go for 2 at this point.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So I got some results from Wednesday night Thanksgiving Day game football. Fenway Park, King Philip blanked Franklin 35-0. Blue Hills in the Tech game, they beat Bristol Plymouth 22-6. South Shore Voc, here's another look at it right here. Watch him get through. And again, he's off to the races. South Shore Voc, they beat Holbrook Avon 41-30. Archbishop Williams gets some revenge off of Cardinal Spellman 42-14. And those are the results I have from Wednesday night. I know we have something. Coach Brian Lee of King Philip is 150th win for King Philip as he goes into the Super Bowl.
Go back to the BR King Philip semifinal games, I think it was, at King Philip back-to-back years. It feels like ever since that time frame, it's just been a powerhouse of a team there, the King Philip Warriors. And it seems like there's kind of those top-tier teams. You have your St. John's, your Zavarians, and King Philip, I think, can be added to that conversation.
They can now, yeah. They're doing it. They're doing it right. Let's see if they go for that place kick again with the Gunners. See how the Gunners are lined up two sides. You get one guy in a three-point stance, one on the far side. They go with the squib kick.
Again with the squib kick. Job number one here for the BR special teams, it looks like, is just to keep the ball away from Cam Montero here. And if you can get a turnover, you take it.
Exactly.
Great look at the squib kick right off the right side of his foot. He was getting ready to set the wedge block, and then the ball hit him in his right ankle. And Xavier Cologne was like, oh, there's the ball. I better jump on it. Oh, boy.
So let's go down once again to Newbie Rateau. Newbie?
Thanks, John. I'm here with Coach and legend over here, former head coach. First and foremost, happy. It's a little different being here on the sidelines as a spectator.
Definitely different. First of all, thank you and happy Thanksgiving to you and all the viewers out there. Much easier coach on the other side of the fence than the side of the fence. It's different. You know, I never really used to, came here a couple of years ago, my first time as a spectator, and see a lot of people and a lot less pressure, like I said, but it's totally different. I get to Thanksgiving dinner on time now. I can sleep a little bit later in the mornings. It's nice, and this is always a good, regardless of the records, this is a good rivalry.
Defensive play number 24, Alexander.
So talk about what it means to kind of, playing a Thanksgiving football game. And this rivalry was going on, I think we're going on about 12 years now. The importance of it and how it means to the players and to the coaches.
Well, for most teams, this is your last game of the year, and especially for a senior, this is it. So you're going to remember this one the rest of your lives, and it's just got a little extra feeling, and everybody's harder, blocking a little bit tough, harder, running a little bit faster. And, everybody's here and coming back to watch us. It has a lot more meaning, and it's always nice. You got all winter long to remember it if you're on the winning side. We've been on both sides. It's tough to lose, too. It's a long winter getting ready for that next season. But if you're a senior, this is it. So you always want to play well in front of a big crowd like this.
Coach, thank you for all the work you've done for the community and to the players and everything you've invested into the school. We appreciate you.
I thank players and the coaches. I was just there for the ride, but thank you for saying that. It was fun. It was great. And I do miss game day, but I don't miss all the grind of everything behind the scenes. But it's fun just to watch other people going through it now. I wish both teams a lot of success. So thank you.
All right, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Coach Bjorn. Thank you very much, Newbie. And Dan Bjorn, one of the top coaches here in the Bay State. You think about his relationship with the Columbos, and that was really what sparked this Thanksgiving rivalry now with the Brockton Boxers, going back to, I believe it was 2010, 2011. It was supposed to be a 10-year contract. As Tomato goes deep for Cam Montero. There's that man finding the scorebook, now up to the 25-yard line. A huge pickup.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You got to throw it to Cam. Just get and let him go after the ball. You'll see it right here, Dom.
Did he not make this look easier? Well, watch his ability. That's to his left. He's running to his right, and he's pushing off his right foot to direct his body to catch that ball.
Exactly. And he was able to hang on to it after he hit the ground. A lot of times, receivers, the ball will leave him, but he hung on to it.
Cam Montero, I believe he's going to Pitt in college?
Yes.
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh. Congratulations. And he's a very well-spoken, very good young man. Oh, we got miscue.
Awkward snap there for Tomato, looking to get back some of the yardage. And just to talk to that point, last year at Fenway, I asked him about the fans booing him and the Boxers off the field because the Boxers came off in front of the BR fans. He said, yeah, you know what? That did fuel us. It was at that point, just listening to him say it that way, I could hear the maturity in his voice, and he still had a year to go last year.
And that last play, great job by Samito to hold him to that football. He kind of fumbled a little bit, but he somehow hung onto it on his leg and then got it back up before the defense could get to him.
As you see, number 60 for the BR Trojans, Declan Fahey getting some help off the field.
Yeah, he's been a big asset on the line. I mean, he's the one initially. He may not be making the initial play for the Trojans defensively, but he's the one. He's the kid slowing them down so some of the quicker athletes can finish the play. That's one thing the Boxers definitely have to pay him at number 57 as well for the Trojans. This is big second down.
Boxers looking to capitalize off of a huge catch by Cam Montero. 2nd and 10 inside of 8 minutes to go. Takes the handoff. Semedo going for the end zone. That is tipped away. Kawan Bento.
Yeah, great defensive play there by number 1. Bento. Just timed it perfectly, Dom.
Yeah, watch this here. So you have Cam Montero under that coverage, wide open.
Wow.
But that was, like you said, that was a great play. That was whoever won the ball. But, of course, the defender made that great play to tip it away. But Montero was wide open on right in that post.
Intended for Ribeiro, and I mentioned that New Bedford game with all those pass interferences.
Right.
I believe Bento had 3 of those pass interference situations.
That was a beautiful, clean play. If they called the flag on that, oh, my God, that referee should retire his stripes.
Empty backfield here for the Boxers, and Semedo, quick pass to the near side. This is number 4, Jaden Wooten, who I believe that's his first reception of the day.
Looks like they're going to be a yard shy, guys.
Yeah, big 4th down coming.
Yep. Here's a nice look at it right here. Semedo, great look by that young man who's been under a lot of duress.
But that was a nice tackle by 24.
That was a great play. He had to make it because he was.
He had to make it, yeah. Saved a few more yards.
Yes, he did.
Wetson Alexander coming up with a big stop. Now BR looking for another big stop on a 4th and 1.
Let's see how many guys the Trojans put in the box. They have 9 guys in the box right now.
Turco is dotting the I.
And they're going to say the Brock. They're going to see who jumped here. This is going to be close.
Yeah.
BR celebrating
That's
like they
a tough
know.
break right there for the Boxers. Now instead of 4th and 1, it's 4th and 6.
Does this affect the play call at all for Coach Wiggins here? Because a 4th and 1, you can sneak it by, but a 4th and 6.
Right, 6, you got to think of okay, what play we're going to use to get this. You know, they got to continue to drive. So this is a very critical 4th down for the Boxers.
Everybody jumped but the center.
But the center.
Everybody.
That's one of those football follies type of plays back in the old days.
Old Detroit Lions play. The Lions are playing excellent right now, too.
It's getting loud here at the regional. You see the camera starting to shake. Fourth and 6. Semedo in the gun with an empty backfield. Semedo hit on the throw, end zone, nothing going there.
And he had him wide open, just couldn't place the ball where the receiver was.
It looks like, we see this again, it looks like the receiver broke late. He made his jab move to go to the post late. See, now he's jabbing, but look where the ball is.
Yeah. I don't know if he couldn't get there. Good job by the defense to keep him at bay.
Right.
Just a split second to keep him from getting to that ball by the pylon.
Intended for Casey Rhodes, and coming in with a huge hit on Semedo right after he threw it. Zach Cardella, one of the seniors playing his final game here at the regional.
This is big for Brockton right here. The defense has to step up with 6 minutes left. 6:04 exactly.
Yeah, so they need a 4 and out.
They do.
To give the offense a chance.
It's a good start.
Natsis with a carry. A name we've called a lot here in the second half. Lou Pacheco looking for his first victory over the Boxers, and he's made it a point over the past 3 years. Yes, we want to win conference championships, but obviously we want a win against the Brockton Boxers.
Now you see 77 stand up. He missed his block. That's why he was behind the play.
Down to 5.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Trojans looking to work down the clock as the official's arm goes in the air. Tripp rolling to the near side and fighting for each and every inch he can get. Going to be a couple inches shy of that first down marker. Nope, they're going to call him good with the first down.
This is the same play, guys, he scored the touchdown on.
Yeah.
But this time the defensive end and the defensive back forced him in.
Yeah, BR's offense is really fluid right now. They got a lot of confidence, and they're moving the football.
So I guess they gave him he had enough. I shouldn't say gave. He earned that first down.
Brockton still has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, which could come into play here if the Trojans pick up another set of downs. But right now, a 1st and 10. Tripp rolling to the near side, to the sideline. He wants to avoid going out, so he went down just shy of the sideline.
Yeah, that was a good play. Good, smart play by the quarterback for BR because, like you just said, John, he went down before he was forced out of bounds.
You know, there's a lot. These referees are letting them play. Both sides, I've seen jerseys tucked in red shirts, white shirts, and these guys are just letting them play.
So Coach Wiggins holding on to those timeouts as we hit the 4-minute mark now in the 4th quarter.
Everything's big. You got to get the ball back.
Got to get the ball back.
Catino goes in motion again. They roll to the near side, and at this point, I don't think it's as much about the yardage as it is the seconds ticking off.
Correct.
As we go inside of 4 minutes now.
You mentioned earlier, John, on that second after that first down, how he's waiting. Here's another look at it right here. Watch Jackson make a great play. Just missed getting that back pursuit as he fell to the ground. But anyway, if you watch the back judge, he has his, like you said, he has his arm up there using the clock.
Ruben Bernard with the initial takedown there at Tripp. Again, a reverse, I should say, to the far side. This is Kelleher, first down into Brockton territory. Kelleher taking off to the 30. Kelleher breaking free, and Kelleher takes this to the house.
He just took that 78 yards.
Wow, Kelleher just showed us that man has some speed. And again, John, a little trick play. Of course, Brockton wasn't thinking that was going to happen. You see it right here, Dom.
Yep.
We thought this was going to be a game of timeouts down the stretch, but time might have just run out on the Boxers.
Yes.
He made a move on Turco, and Wiggins was just late.
I mean, that was a perfect call right there. Brockton was not expecting. I wasn't expecting it. Fans wasn't expecting it. But it was well executed, and they rewarded with 6 points.
The thing that hurt Brockton on that one when they set up, they weren't like not a prevent. They were playing to the strong side of that play.
Yes, and you saw that right outside linebacker came right in, and there was nobody out there to stop the student.
And you mentioned the speed
Kelleher?
Kelleher.
Yeah.
He took off like a deer. He got his second. He put in a second gear, and he was gone.
Right, and you had one or two Brockton players looked like they had an angle on him, but his speed.
Here's another look at it from the on the fake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everybody's going that way.
Yep. And all you have left is, as you have, I believe that, no, that's I thought that was Turco. That's not Turco. But watch him put on the Jets after that.
How about the awareness of himself on the sideline there?
Right.
He walking a tightrope.
Jason Kelleher just changed the complexion of this one on Thanksgiving.
I'm thinking we're going to see another squib kick here, gentlemen. And Coach Pacheco was worried about the Brockton big plays, and Coach Wiggins was worried about execution. It's definitely been lack of execution, unfortunately, for the Boxers. I mean, we've seen them so many times just gel, and right now, the BR defense has them. I don't know what he has them thinking. They're not thinking about what they have to do on offense, that's for sure.
Definitely so, Dom. The BR defense has really stepped up on this Thanksgiving Day.
This is a very interesting drive. They have to do this. I mean, 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Brockton has to first of all, your quarterback has to see the whole field. If they do what they stunted before the end of the half and they load up one side of the ball and he doesn't pay attention and check off that, this could really hurt the Boxers.
Now, we've seen Samito in there in the second half. I'm just wondering, did something happen to Campbell?
Well, we both know one thing. He's about 98 pounds.
Well,
he is a small guy.
Yeah, he's not a big guy.
Hopefully he's not hurt.
Campbell is on the sideline at the 39-yard line with his helmet on and pads and jersey. So at this point, Coach Wiggins going with Samito here at the quarterback position. And
oh, that's a flat. Yeah, that's definitely pass interference.
Intended for Turco. He had something to say. And right now, if you're the Boxers, you have to be careful if you get a flag like that. You don't want to have it go both ways.
Exactly. Right. Even though Wedson was all over him. I mean, right here on the replay. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're right, John. You just don't want to say anything. You're down 2 touchdowns. Just get back to the huddle and play some football.
It ain't like you're up 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
You got to shut your mouth, go back to the line of scrimmage, or if you're doing hurry up, or go back to the huddle and see what my assignment is next.
And another key is if they're going to pass the ball, I don't know, I would say get it to the outside so they can get it out of bounds to stop the clock.
And most importantly for the Boxers, they just picked up yardage without the clock ticking down. Samito on first down completes the pass to Ribeiro to the near side, so the clock's going to stop on a first down, but Ribeiro gets pulled down at the 30 by number 2 for the Trojans, Owen King. Jaden Ribeiro gets a big catch.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest offensive plays, one of the biggest so far in this game for the Boxers.
Gentlemen, all it is a quick slant, and the Boxer receiver got the inside edge on that, and then he just uses his God-given speed. That was a great call. Great look by Sabito.
Yeah.
Clock ticking down once again, down to 2:20 to go in the fourth. Turco and Wooten on the near side here. Samito in the center of the field for Montero. And Montero, it took about 4 or 5 defenders, but he goes down, and Brockton will burn a timeout. Or excuse me, the clock stops.
You know what? You know why? You're playing against a college kid. That's what that was. High school kids against a college kid.
Yeah.
Watch his God-given ability here. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3.
Yep.
4. He's still moving the ball. Watch it. 5. Right? And he's still going. That's a college kid playing against high school kids right there. Oh, miscue.
The snap is high. Samito dives on it.
Yikes. So all I can say to that is yikes. Oh, my goodness.
Clock ticking down to 1:40. Brockton not burning a timeout.
Yeah, that's a big mistake right there by the center.
He wasn't even looking. I don't know if they had a special cadence or they were going no count.
Samito going for the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. The defense there by Nicholas and number 24, Wedson Alexander again.
I'll tell you, that's Samito. He has been hit. Watch when he releases the ball. Watch the pressure. And there's the defense. You see the defensive end get him at the end?
Yeah, he's been tagged a few times in this second half.
But like we're saying, I mean, they're letting him play. You have one pass interference call, and then you have the questionable block on that return. He's letting them play.
Number 35 for the Trojans, Amin Abbasi, has yet to win a Thanksgiving game, and this is final chance.
Pay attention to what's going on.
1:20 to go, a 3rd and 26 upcoming, and a timeout taken by the Brockton Boxers. As the coach is going to talk this one over. In a 2-score game, 22-7.
And the clock is definitely on BR's side at the moment. Again, just a great play call by BR's coach, Lou Pacheco, on that reverse. I mean, it fooled everybody.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
They were loading heavy on the left side off their center, and like we saw from the end zone cam, you had one guy left, and everyone was back pursuing.
And give BR's offense credit. They made the play look like it was going to the right.
They did.
Execution is a big part in those little trick plays, and they executed it beautifully on this sunny day, Thanksgiving Day.
What a beautiful day.
Almost perfect. It almost feels like that spring game we had back in 21 in Brockton.
True.
So Brockton playing for the game at this point, a 3rd and 26 with a minute 20 to go and 2 timeouts. Hooten on the near side along with Turco. Semedo, rush out of the pocket, throws this one, going to be incomplete, brings up 4th down, getting chased out of the pocket by Michael O'Brien.
Yeah, Michael stayed with him all the way. Watch on his assignment.
Yeah, give BR's defense credit. They put the pressure, as you see, on the quarterback, so he really couldn't make a good throw. But that's what you have to do. You put the pressure on the quarterback and make him throw the ball off balance or whatever, and BR's defense did exactly what they were supposed to do.
So last chance here for the Boxers.
There's a good chance they're going to put 4 guys right about at least the safety and the free safety. I would play it back even further. You know they got to go to the 5-yard line for a 1st down.
It's been all Marcio Semedo here in the second half at quarterback. Semedo gets wrapped up, pulled down. The pass is tipped away, intended for Wooten. And the BR Trojans are going to come away with a win on Thanksgiving morning.
Gee, Wooten almost got his hands on that ball.
He did.
Just couldn't quite hang on to it. A lot of activity going on in the end zone. You'll see it here.
So a timeout taken by the BR Trojans, and at this time we want to recognize our volunteers who gave up a Thanksgiving morning. It's not fun waking up at 5:30 in the morning on Thanksgiving. We have Mike Moriello directing in the truck along with Austin O'Hara from the high school here. We also have Mark Dean, who snuck in before the start of the game, so I didn't see him, but we do have Mark Dean here. We also have Al Lacerda manning the wireless camera that you're looking at the image right now. Has done great work with us here at the studio over the past month or so. We have Patrick Quinn, postman Mike Simmons up top on the main cam, and Jeff Fowler in his world famous, for some reason he wore it on a 45-degree painting wall suit.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, hats off to the BR television crew along with Mike the Postman Simmons. Great job this afternoon, along with Newbie. Great job all around. Just a great team effort.
This is one of the biggest shoots we do here on Thanksgiving. Bridgewater Television takes the show on the road every March, going down to the Mid-Atlantic states, also covering the NCAA Division II National Basketball Tournament. But definitely a fun game here with BCA and BTV teaming up. Kayla Tripp teaming up with his offense, taking this down the sideline, tripped up and down at the 26.
Gentlemen, again, they go double wing. They follow the blocks, the wing backs. You have that outside, I believe it's the guard that's going to pull on this play. And here he comes. Here comes 52, 33, and 28. And then he just uses blocks, and he just takes off.
Yeah, the offense found their strength in that particular play because they've been successful with it here in the second half big time.
So he gets set for a knee here by the BR Trojans. One more name I forgot to bring up, Town Councilor Brad McKinnon helping us out.
Well, that was nice of Brad.
Town Councilor?
Town Councilor.
Great.
Brad McKinnon actually played for the BR Trojans back in 2010. And for the BR Trojans, how sweet the feeling is. For the first time in years, they get a win over the Brockton Boxers on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, congratulations to the Trojans. I mean, I mentioned it earlier in the second half when we saw the set play on the kickoff. that they got, excuse me, drove the ball downfield, and then their linebackers woke up, shooting the gaps and swimming those offensive linemen of Brockton, and their execution and their game plan in the second half paid off.
Yeah, exactly, Dom. And like you said, the key to this second half was that onside kick to Brockton at the beginning of caught Brockton off guard. BR got the ball. The offense did what they had to do and scored. They had the momentum big time. Brockton really wasn't able to recover from that.
That was like a Super Bowl type of play there to open up the second half.
Exactly right.
As you see the team shaking hands, exchanging hugs and pleasantries here after a hard-fought game on Thanksgiving morning. And you think about what these two teams did, especially in the middle two quarters. This game didn't really go outside of the 30s.
Yeah, it was a defensive game as for both teams up until in that third quarter. But give Bridgewater Raham credit. Their defense stepped up when it had to and made the key plays.
Absolutely.
To keep Brockton out of the end zone.
They did. And again, like I mentioned and you mentioned, we all mentioned, as these plays were transpiring, the ability for BR to make such a big adjustment and to see, I mean, again, they did play a basic double wing, but key blocking, you know, excellent running by their quarterback. And I was so surprised they were trying to, in the first half, they were trying to stand between the tackles for both teams. I'm like, are they like, we could tell they're trying to feel themselves out. I'm like, well, why are you staying between the tackles why don't you just try to score early? I don't know. I mean, I'm not the coach down there, but it makes you wonder sometimes.
Yeah, and the last thing I got to say is defense wins Thanksgiving Day football games.
Yep.
This was a defensive battle, and BR came on top.
You talk about defense, think about how the scoring actually started for the Brockton Boxers. It was an interception return for a touchdown by Jalen Jackson, but the BR Trojans celebrating here as you see Lou Pacheco, who I think we're going to try and get a word with in just a few seconds here. Think about how big of a moment this is for him. A 3-7 season. They're now the Southeast Conference champions now with this victory, but he came into this game 0-2 against the Boxers on Thanksgiving. Talking to him, it felt like he realized the levity of the moment and just how big this was, because for a lot of these players, they didn't get that winning feeling against the Boxers.
Yeah, and it was a great feeling for them out there on the football field. Like you said, coming in here, both teams coming in 3-7, but Bridgewater on their home turf, seniors' last game, it was just very emotional for BR to come out of here with a win.
And obviously a lot of key contributors for the BR Trojans, but I think Caleb Tripp in his play, to me, if you had to pick a player of the game, I think Caleb Tripp is probably the guy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He stepped up when it needed to be.
Oh, without a doubt.
So again, I believe we're looking for a couple of interviews here with Newbie Rateau, and great to see the celebration. And you know, Coach Pacheco talked to me about what this moment means for the players. A lot of them playing their last game. So after this, they have to go ahead and turn their pads in. I mentioned Caleb Tripp and the great job he did today. He's down on the field right now talking with Newbie Rateau.
What's up, guys? Hell of a game. First and foremost, here, talk about how the field to get Thanksgiving victory.
It's surreal. I mean, our coaches, our teammates, they just play their butts. So I couldn't ask for a better group.
What was your coach telling you during the post-game speech?
You know, just it's sad it's over, but we ended on just keep this momentum going forward into next season.
What does it mean to play for you on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, how special is that?
I mean, Thanksgiving's a great day, so it's great to have family, friends, team, all my brothers for life. So it's great.
Listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Happy Thanksgiving, Newbie. And, yes, we'll see you next year as we switch venues back to Marciano Stadium for the first time since 2021 when we played the spring game. So that'll do it here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone in Brockton, Bridgewater, and Rainham. We'll talk to you later. For Big Game Miles Jackson, Dominic Damiano, I'm John Luck. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.